Good evening, my fellow troglodytes, Neanderthals, hairy knuckle dragon apes, chicken littles, boys crying wolf, everybody else in the red pill manosphere, and all the good faithful family. Welcome to the Good Faith Podcast, where we maneuver around toxic debauchery, attempting to find harmony with our fellow man and dissect society's caustic degeneracy. If it's a pre-apocalyptic dystopia that you seek, then look no further, because here it is. The great American empire is going to hell in a handbasket, and quickly. I'm your host, Ninja Bullock. I understand you could have been a million other places, and the time is the most precious commodity that any of us have. So from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to share my gratitude with you all. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Due to the sensitive nature of some of our topics, we hope you'll shield youngins from some of the vulgarity that may be spewed here.
At Martin Pierce KC said, checking in.
All right. Yo, what's up, Martin? I got to make sure that I share my, the sound so Glenn can hear it. There we go. So, all right, we're going to, oh, wait, no. I don't want to share the screen. I just want to share the sound. Okay, so, advanced, computer audio, share. All right, how about that? We're going to be talking about smut. So, Glenn, can you hear this?
It's smut, Bill.
I didn't know we were talking about smut, but yeah, I heard that, yes.
Okay, good. Just a little bit of smut. Just if people on Reddit ask us for our advice about smut, that's the only time that we're going to be talking about it. So not a ton, but a little bit.
Well, I'm very innocent, so I don't know how much I can help.
I love actually playing coy as like a strategy of game. I find that a lot of girls are like actually really what's the word, like really devious. Yeah, and then like when they come around a man who is competent and experienced and mature but has like a wholesome vibe to him, they want to tear into it like a lamb.
That's the old saying of women want to make sure you know the game without telling you or asking you, do you know how to play the game?
Mm-hmm. So it must be noted, guys, that the views expressed by the panel are not necessarily the views of the Good Faith Podcast. We are no fiduciary. We assume no culpability of investment performance as a result of following our financial advice. Our simple aim is to entertain and inform. Anybody living in the greater Philadelphia area interested in making an appearance on our show can reach me in a DM on Facebook or Instagram at Christopher Bulick. See our Patreon link in the description if you'd like to make a campaign contribution to facilitate our meteoric rise.
I ain't trying to screw you. You ain't giving me no money.
In all seriousness, times are tough. Any proceeds we receive will be going towards rent, electricity, and medicating my cat, who's got like a bunch of health concerns, but his health is like seemingly improving. So I thank you for everybody who ever has donated, everybody who ever will donate. I promise you I will put it towards good use. I won't be laundering it on like private helicopter trips to Delaware or whatever. This is your notification. The Good Faith Podcast is now available not only on YouTube, but Twitch, Apple, Spotify, Patreon, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, RSS.com, Overcast, Downcast, Podbeam, Edge, Podcast Republic, and CastBox as well. We'll keep pushing out these episodes so long as our following stays growing. The path to notoriety will be for our listeners to spread the good word of the pod. If you have somebody in mind who would agree with our content, may be informed, if they want to ridicule us, send a link to your friends and family. All publicity is good publicity. Our objective is to have a balance between both sides of the political spectrum. So if you have somebody in mind who enjoys listening to podcasts, please spread our channel. And guys, I just want to let you know, we are now a monetized channel. We now have a merch store. Nobody has purchased any of our merch yet. And so if right now the only thing that we have is a high stakes logo. So if you want a high stakes t-shirt, a high stakes hoodie, high stakes mug, or a high stakes mouse pad or whatever, you can find it on there. And also, if you want to get a gift for someone, or you want to get a gift for yourself, the kind of gift that keeps on giving, consider a membership to the Good Faith Podcast, where Your fearless and thankless leader, me, is working tirelessly to return you guys value through exclusive content, sound advice, unique custom emojis, listening and responding to all your constructive feedback. Now, the fragrance of the week is Beverly Hills Polo Club Blaze. It's got top notes of red grapefruit, cranberry, Italian lemon, and verbena. Middle notes of cardamom, black leather, red sage, saffron, and lavender. Base notes of cedarwood, patchouli, and black leather. And the candle of the week is white tea and sage, made by White Barn Candles. This is like one of my favorites. It's got like a very light aromatic scent. It's not too heavy of a candle. It doesn't overpower your senses, but it does like freshen up the space that you burn it in. The shirt of the week, Express Powder Blue. Jacket of the week, J. Farrar Burgundy. Slacks of the week, J. Farrar Burgundy. And shoes of the week, Alfani Powder Blue. Guys, you know what I say. Look good, smell good, play good. And when you play good, they pay good. Although I haven't been getting paid very good. So, guys, if you're here, I'm going to need you to open up your wallets and start donating me money with the Super Chats. Please and thank you. And you don't have to spend $1 million to look like $1 million. Speaking of looking like $1 million for only a couple of bucks, how's your head looking? Do you look like the Werewolf of London? Do you have some grotesque mullet or some broccoli curly Q Gen Alpha haircut? Maybe your mustache is overgrown and disheveled, or your neckbeard subcommunicates that you haven't gone down on a woman since the Bush administration. Are your sideburns mutton chops, or do you display any number of culturally irrelevant hairstyles in the year 2026? Let me give a glaring recommendation for my personal barber, Rob Fiorentino. His prices are reasonable. He does exquisite work. If you work with him, he's going to do it at Fuse Barbershop right in the heart of Newtown. And he's been shaping up guys and giving them the hookup for years. I promise if you go to him once, you'll be hooked for life. Find Rob on Instagram to browse his portfolio of work. Rob, at Rob Barber13. And those are underscores instead of spaces. And book him on Booksy with the link in the show notes. When other hairstylists just don't make the cut, go to Rob Fiorentino and listen to the Good Faith Podcast while you get the finest shape up that money can buy. All right. Now we got that out of the way, got our intro out of the way. Glenn, what's up? How's your weekend?
It's a little slow, Chris, but all is good. How about you?
Good. Mine's also been slow. On Friday night I went out, and then yesterday and today I've just been moping around the house, just taking it easy. Right. So let's get into some Reddit advice, and I'll mention these things, and then you can give your personal take on them. So let me go up here. Oh, I don't have many.
These are all just suggestions. People should do what they want with the information we provide if they want to do anything at all. Just disclaimer.
We are no fiduciary. We take no liability for any results incurred by the utilization of our advice. Okay, so here is the first one, and this guy is asking us to be gentle because this is his first relationship he says first real relationship since he was widowed. Okay, so he's been married. What's up? How old is he? He's 42.
Okay.
This 42-year-old man.
Has he been a widow?
He has been a widow for about a year. Okay, so he says, please be gentle. This is my first real relationship since I was widowed about a year ago. This woman is so lovely in so many ways and so kind and compassionate to me. In March, she said she'd received some memes from her last boyfriend. They were together 7 years, and it finished 4 years ago. And she was angry that he re-entered her life. She split up with him as far as I know. At the time, I said, if you want to reconnect, go for it, but implement clear boundaries. I'm not a jealous person. Fast forward to this weekend, she mentioned that she'd arranged to see him, and was I okay with that? I said yes. Long silence, so I thought I best ask some clarifying questions. It transpired that she was going to drive to his home 3 hours away. I asked where she would stay. She said his house. And then she gauged my reaction. She said, though I told him I'd probably camp, and he said he'd join me. I asked, does he know about me? She said no. I stewed on it for a few days and asked her to meet up. I asked her these two questions. Her meeting him wasn't an issue, but going to his home or camping together felt way too intimate for a platonic friendship. The first time they'd seen each other in 4 years, and why didn't she choose a daytime coffee halfway between? Her answer was, well, you seemed cool with it, but I see how it looks now. Sorry. She must have been messaging him a fair bit in order to get to a point where they're meeting up, and that's a chapter of her life in the last few months that I'd completely missed. And every time she messaged him, she had a choice to tell him about me, and she didn't. Why? She didn't have a good reason for this. Really, it came down to he didn't ask me, so I didn't ask him. And it was awkward to talk to him about a new relationship. Now, I know she likes me a lot. She tells me all the time. However, none of this behavior is acceptable, right? Consciously or unconsciously, she's been leaving a door open for him, whether romantically or emotionally. Like, I'm not overreacting and thinking she's breached some serious hard lines. It has been so long since I was unsettled like this in a relationship before. I don't know what is right or wrong. And say I forgive her. What does our relationship look like moving forward? I don't want to police her at all. That would make me resent her and her resent me. But also, wouldn't I just continue to wonder when the next time is she going to put herself in an emotional romantic situation that conflicts with our relationship again? Has anyone been in this situation and overcome it? And that is the end of that one.
So a couple things with this. I mean, I would ask this guy, how long was he married for before his wife passed away? And then how much did he work on himself before getting into this current relationship? Because everything seems to be happening back to back. Like, she passed away and he jumped into another relationship, and now there's these issues coming up of her traveling 3 hours to see an ex-boyfriend she hasn't talked to in 4 years, if I have all of the
Yep.
facts correct that he mentioned. Yeah.
Yes.
So he didn't really state how long he was married before she passed, right?
He did not mention the duration of his marriage. But like we can assume
think,
it's probably like a pretty long and serious marriage that he had.
Yeah, I would say anything, even a couple of years into it. So, when you're in a relationship, you start building habits and ways of dealing with that relationship. So you get used to having certain behaviors attuned to this other person you're with. And then once they pass, the questions I would ask this guy is like, how much time did you spend on yourself rebuilding some of your boundaries? Because the next person you meet is not going to be your deceased wife. Their behaviors are going to be different. Their personality is going to be different. So do you really have your boundaries set in place before getting in another relationship? The next question I would be asking is like, so this woman, she's willing to drive, again, 3 hours, apparently one way, to see an ex-boyfriend she hasn't spoken to in 4 years. And didn't you mention that the ex-boyfriend is upset that she's back in his life? Is that right?
I don't think I mentioned that. However, I mean, like it was discussed where she would sleep, and his first instinct was to invite her to sleep over his house, and then she said, "No, that would be inappropriate. None of the other stuff would be inappropriate. It'd be inappropriate for me to sleep in your house. I'll just camp outside in your yard." To which he responded like, "Oh, I'll camp with you." Like very, very, very like.
Yeah. So she's expressing from his description, what I would describe this as, she's expressing symptoms of what is called an alpha
At
widow,
Godflow
where
2000
she misses
said,
this guy.
"What's up, peeps?"
What's up, Aaron?
What's up?
Yeah, you were talking about an alpha
that-
widow.
Yeah, she's describing symptoms of an alpha widow, meaning like she's still pining for this ex-boyfriend that's no longer part of her life, but she's still wanting to get back together with him, even after 4 years of being away. She's still trying to enter his life, and that she's testing the waters of this widow's boundaries of, hey, I'm thinking of staying the night in his home. And then when he balked at that, it was, oh, well, then I might camp out. Well, my first thought is like, so back to the widow's boundaries. It's like for myself, I've been involuntarily cucked. I mean, I don't like that feeling. And I'm sure a lot of guys out there have been
At
involuntarily cucked. This is
MomZ3BL
almost
said,
something.
"Hi, Chris."
Hi, Mom.
Let the boy watch.
Hi, Mrs. Bulick. But you know, if this guy's okay with that kind of relationship, like, hey, I know she's going to be spending the weekend overnight at this guy's house, but she might camp on his lawn. I mean, even camping on the lawn, I think that's even, I don't know. I would say, dude, if you're cool with all of this stuff, that's your world, man. You want to live in it, that's fine. If this makes you feel uncomfortable, like he's kind of describing, it just sounds like his boundaries aren't up to where he thinks they should be.
said, "Hi, Glenn."
Maybe he's home.
Mom says hi.
Hi back. Hi, Miss Bulick. Miss Bulick.
Do you? I think that
yeah.
I think that sometimes like girls will in the old like Rollo Tomasi days. I think he was the one who coined the term shit test, and they will bounce little shit tests off of a man to see what he's made of, to see how strong his frame is and how strong his boundaries are.
Sure. Yeah, agreed. And if this is just a shit test, if she's just seeing how far she can push the boundaries, cool. If she's, the thing that's interesting is, you know, one, I don't think he's clarified the boundaries he has for himself. So I would question, did you spend enough time working on yourself to get into another relationship? You know, you need to set those boundaries up for yourself and your self-respect first. If you're okay with your girl, you know, if they are in a committed relationship and they've made an agreement to be in a committed relationship, and they've also agreed that it's, hey, this is a monogamous committed relationship, that's one thing. If they're just hanging out, having fun, not committed, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna go see my ex-boyfriend, okay, you know, I mean, there's a lot of unknowns here, but he didn't describe this as, you know, hey, we're just friends. He also described it as, it makes him feel uncomfortable that she's doing this, but he's also leaving it up to her, kind of like, well, you know, here's an excuse, or here's not an excuse, but here's a reason, like, I would go there and stay there, but I just wouldn't stay in his house. And if that makes you feel uncomfortable, well, something's telling you something, that maybe this isn't a good situation for yourself. But again, we don't know how serious the relationship is. We don't know if he's worked on himself. We don't know how long his previous relationship was. But then it all goes down to, if you're cool with it, you know, cool. But if you're not, like, where does your boundaries lie, dude? And then if they're like, well, I don't want her seeing her ex-boyfriend, it's like, okay, then why would you even entertain this idea? If I was dating somebody and we were in a serious, committed, monogamous relationship, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to my boyfriend's house, my ex-boyfriend that I stopped seeing 4 years ago, I would be like, oh, it sounds like you still have some feelings for him, which is cool. And I would appreciate her. I'd be like, thank you so much for letting me know. I appreciate you letting me know. I care for you. I wish you the best. But that's just a boundary I wouldn't be able to deal with. So, but it'd be like, you know, hey, I'd still, you know, let's be friends. We can catch up later, but have fun. I'll catch you later, type of thing.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is Married 11 years. Wife steadily gaining weight despite my efforts to help, and it's impacting our marriage. My wife and I met. I can't believe I don't have any, like, I'm sure I got some, like, obesity ones here. Do I got any obesity ones? I gotta have some obesity ones. Oh, whatever. Yeah, here we go.
You don't have OCD. You have obesity.
Bruh.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know my psychiatrist was on here. Thank you.
Bruh.
My wife and I met later in life and have been married 11 years next week. She's 5'2" and weighed around 130 pounds when we first met. Now she's around 180. Over the years, her weight gain has been the subject of numerous conversations, usually initiated by her from the standpoint of being disappointed in herself. I've always tried to be supportive, at least I think so. We had a gym membership for a while and would go together, but when I stopped due to a change in my work schedule, I've stopped going as well. I've tried incorporating meaningful changes in our diets, but I regularly find evidence of her eating fast food. We had a treadmill when we first married, which she never used. She said she'd prefer a stationary bike, so I bought her one. She used it a handful of times, and then when I got deployed a couple of years ago, here we go. Okay. I got deployed a couple of years ago, military reserve, and lost some weight. During that period, when she returned, she said, "Oh no, she got deployed. Sorry, when she got deployed to military reserves, and she lost some weight during that period. When she returned, she said they had a Peloton bike, which she loved. I bought her a Peloton last Christmas, which she has used a total of 2 times. She gained the weight she lost during deployment and then some. She asked to enroll in a weight loss program, which I fully supported. She's started the same program twice now, but not finished it either time. The program was about $3,000 in total. Her weight has started to have significant impacts on our sex life, which already wasn't great. She's my best friend and the love of my life, but I'm seriously struggling with how to help, encourage, and support her."
Yeah, what is he doing?
He,
I mean, that would be my first question. Because this is a lot about what she's doing and how she's gained weight and how she's actually initiated discussions with him, expressing her, not her discomfort or her insecurities. She's expressed to him her insecurities with the weight gain. Also, it's like, I'm buying her stuff she asks, she's just not using it. So what example or what is he doing to provide an example for her would be my questions to him. Like, are you fit? Are you going out and working out? Are you exercising 3 times a day? Are you using a Peloton? Are you eating fast food? Or what is your physique like? And then I would go from there. Like, it's interesting. He talks everything about her, but doesn't say, like, I'm hitting the gym 5-6 days a week, and she doesn't want to come with me. I'm eating, lean chicken and salads like twice a day, and having eggs for breakfast. And, she just has like, just an egg McMuffin for breakfast, 3 of those a day. And there's no descriptions of how he's taking care of
Martin
himself.
Pierce
It's just
KC
all of
said
her.
she is not finding him disagreeable.
I mean, maybe I highly doubt it. See, what I imagine is probably the case is that a lot of women gain a lot of self-confidence by being fit. And so when a woman lacks self-confidence, she's not going to want to expose her naked body to her partner quite so much. She's probably going to want to like be wearing a t-shirt in bed and shit like that. Like just being very, she's not going to have the self-confidence to really open up their sex life like it should be.
and he's probably not complimenting her or showing her appreciation, probably like he was early on in the relationship either. So those would be some questions I would ask him. It's like, so how are you staying fit? How are you setting an example? Are you keeping yourself together? And then are you showing her appreciation for who she is? Are you still showing her appreciation for, and showing her how still attractive she is to you? The things that you brought each other together in the first place. Is he still doing those kinds of things, or is he just like, Jesus Christ, you're getting fat, and you keep eating McDonald's, and you're not using the Peloton? I mean, who's going to feel good about themselves if someone's talking that way? I'm not saying that he's doing that, but it's like, take a look at how you're, without a better word, leading the relationship, and what kind of example are you providing, and are you still, you guys been together for 11 years, and there's no sex anymore. Paul Bauer has a really good book. It talks about how to reactivate the sex life, but I think one of the first things to do is take a look at yourself. What kind of example are you doing, and are you still showing her any kind of attraction, or showing her how much you still are attracted to her, if you even are, or how can you get back there? Mm-hmm. Are you taking her out on dates? Are you showing her, like, yeah, women are still, there's also, Chris, like, that feeling of dread if a woman is with a man who takes care of himself, looks good, dresses good, has a certain air of confidence about him and can back it up. Basically a woman will feel a bit of dread when she's with a man who knows other women want him. Mm-hmm. But it's also a turn on, I believe.
Yes.
Or women like to see that in their man, knowing that the guy can cheat, but maybe he won't, or that other women are attracted to him, but he's mine, type of thing. Mm-hmm. So there's some things that we don't know with this that would be interesting to find out. I would be really interested on what kind of example is he providing. I mean, is he, taking care of himself? Is he getting enough sleep? Is he have a good job? Is he have a good social circle? I mean, is he still trying to improve himself? Is he, accountable for the relationship and things he does in his world with her? A lot of questions I would have for him before he starts, saying, wow, she's already gained a lot of weight and I don't know what to do, type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like to the concept you were just talking about, though, Rollo, once again, I'll quote Rollo, and he calls it competition anxiety. And it's like, it might, yeah, like
Martin Pierce KC said, so is the conversation come from the expectations of what each desires from each other? And if the man conducts himself publicly, that attracts women?
So is the conversation coming from the expectation of what each desires from each other? If the man conducts himself publicly, that attracts women. I think so. I'm not sure who I heard this from, but I believe it to be true. You can make a woman feel any emotion except for boredom. If you bore a woman, you will kill a woman, and I think that is the cardinal sin that this man is committing. Is he is boring. He is allowing his wife to get complacent and to like lose interest in the relationship because it is too predictable. It's too boring. And I think if he were to spike her emotions by maybe getting into fantastic shape himself, that might stoke that competition anxiety that she could be feeling, and it would kind of like electrify their relationship, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why they got married in the first place, and obviously they were attracted to each other. He was doing certain things that she saw attractive. She was doing certain things that, vice versa. He thought, she was doing things that he found attractive. He was doing things that she found attractive, and they've been together for 11 years. If he's doing things that other women find attractive, his wife is going to feel a little bit of dread in that, competition anxiety, and maybe that might help to motivate her. It might be just one thing that he can do to help motivate her to get back in shape again. But if he's, not saying anything, or not like, hey, I'm going to the gym, do you want to go with me? Hey, I'm going out for a walk or a bike ride, would you want to go with me? I'm just maybe including her in things, and hey, I'm going to get us dinner tonight, and I'm going to, buy blah, blah, blah. Or just kind of set the standard or the tone for, we're going to be two healthy people. We're both on a mission. I want you to be attractive. I want you to be attracted to me. What can we do to keep that up? Just kind of delve into that type of keeping that kind of world around for each other, so they can keep that attraction up. Yeah, and you're right, Chris. If the moment a woman gets bored, it's the moment she's going to start looking for somebody else or wanting to get out of that relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I almost would think that would be like that would be like the best case scenario, is if she's looking for someone else or trying to get out of that relationship. What I think would be almost more alarming, and I think it's what we have here, is she's just gonna like start letting herself go and just like becoming dead to the sexual dating market entirely, and losing her entire sexual identity,
Well, she's letting herself go, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And there's
At Martin Pierce KC said,
armchair
we as men must
therapy.
engage in building an empire that is attractive.
Yeah. Go on.
Yes, you want to create. Yeah, I was going to say that's a great point. You want to create a world that other people want to be in.
Yeah.
And if you're doing things that you have a purpose, a mission in life, you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your business, taking care of your friends, people see that and they want to be a part of it. What I was going to say is, like, we don't know a whole lot about what's going on with this woman, but if she's letting herself go, she could be dealing, like I said, armchair therapist. She could be dealing with depression. She could be feeling like she's not very pretty anymore, and she can just, no one cares. I mean, there could be some things going on there too, to where, maybe he could do some things to show her that he is still attracted to her, or that, this is the reason why I married you in the first place, to try and rekindle what's going on, but we know a lot about what she's not doing, but we don't know anything about what he is or isn't doing.
Yeah.
And that would be helpful to help this guy.
Yeah. Okay, on to the next one, and then I want to talk about this industry a little bit and talk about so I want to talk about the wedding industry a little bit, because I think it is it has become like the it has become like one of the most unaffordable ripoffs in modern society, and so it's only natural that a lot of people are going to have inquiries about how to navigate getting married. So my fiance and I are getting married at a venue in the middle of nowhere, Florida. It's about 30 minutes away from any major city. There aren't a lot of great Airbnb options, except one or two. We planned on staying in the same Airbnb as our family, and we were very excited because it's a historic Victorian home with 5+ bedrooms, and it's giving wedding vibes unlike any of the few other Airbnbs in the area, which have the very basic Florida vibe and aren't big enough for everyone to stay in. Then we noticed that it wasn't listed anymore and did some searching online. We then found out that the owner of our wedding venue bought the place to have it as an option for couples marrying at her venue. We were so excited until we talked to her. We learned that she's upping the nightly rate from $600 a night to $2,000 a night. $2,000 per night. There, our plans go out the window. There is absolutely no excuse to charge that much. Maybe in Los Angeles or New York City, but not in the middle of nowhere, Florida. It's bonkers. I voiced my opinion to her, but I highly doubt she'll care unless others decide to voice theirs. It's disheartening how the wedding industry preys on couples and families. I'm trying to stay excited about getting married at that venue, but it's difficult knowing what we know now about the owner. Just wanted to clarify a couple of things. We didn't so these are like questions that she was probably commonly asked. Why didn't you book it earlier? We found the Airbnb months ago, and the previous owner told us we had to wait because they don't accept bookings 12 plus months in advance. As of May, it is 12 months, which is why we were going to book now. Either way, it doesn't matter because the new owner canceled all existing reservations. Anyway, they're all void. 20 to 30 minutes away isn't in the middle of nowhere. I realize that, but it felt out of the way and inconvenient after a super long day. We will likely rent a party bus to take us to and from our accommodations to the venue. Why did you book a venue with Airbnbs or hotel? Why didn't you book with Why didn't you book a venue with no Airbnbs or hotels nearby? There are hotels and Airbnbs within 10 to 20 minutes, and we have room blocks for guests, but we want to stay in a big Airbnb with family. There aren't many with 5+ bedrooms near the venue, but now we have the bus option, so it's fine. At the end of the day, the main reason we're angry is the fact that someone would exploit couples and families to that degree. I don't care that it's good for business. It's morally bankrupt, and I would never do that to another person, plain and simple. It says a lot about you if you're thinking that's just smart business. Wonder why the economy is so bad, right? It's because of people who have that mindset. Thank you for everyone's advice and support.
So what's the question?
I guess it's more
Is it
it's more just like venting the frustration of getting married and getting upcharged on like literally everything that you do. Like these are.
Is this a groom or the? Yeah, is this the groom or the bride?
This sounds like the bride. If I had to guess, it's
okay.
Sure.
So is it, if it's just a venting session of wow, we're getting charged too much? My question would be, what was your budget before? You know, which to me would seem like if the party has agreed to a budget and those people that may be contributing to the wedding, say like the in-laws, the parent, like, hey, we're going to put so much money into this wedding, have that budget confirmed beforehand and make changes accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if this place doesn't work out because it's too expensive, it doesn't work out because it's too expensive. Stay with your budget. Don't be beholden to somebody. That's why they're doing it. They're like, oh, you want to get married here? Great, we're going to jack up the price to more than twice what we originally, almost 3 times what we originally said it was. I mean, okay, like, yeah, you could also spend like a few $100 at the local city hall and get it done there and take the rest of the money that you have for your wedding and put it down on your house for a legacy, which is going to be the better investment.
Yeah.
Right. So, hopefully if this is the bride, that she's talking to the family about this. If it's the groom, I would say, what's the practicality of this by paying this much extra money for this venue when we can go down? I mean, it may not be as romantic, but you can have, you're going to have a lifetime of memories to build. And if this one is going to leave a sour note, like, okay, is it, oh, well, the venue is going to be great. It's like, okay, great. That one place where we got married was amazing. Okay. And then we have to save up for a new house. And then we have to save for it. I mean, if we're complaining about money, not complaining, but if we're concerned about money now, your budget didn't work out. You're just going to have to, relook at a different venue, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I share this bride's frustration because I see it happening all the time. Like a banquet hall that normally charges $1,000 a day to have a wedding there is going to charge $5,000 a day or something like that. And it's all over the place. Like you go to a hotel for an off season or whatever, but if there's an NFL football game going off, it's a playoff game, that hotel is going to charge 3 times the amount. It's same with Airbnb. I mean, it's just capitalism 101. Oh, you really want to stay here? Okay. Oh, there's a reason. Oh, because of a wedding? Oh, well, we're going to charge you 3 times the amount. That's why it's like, well,
who are you really paying off? You're going to have this one memory, this one day. It's beautiful, great. Okay. And you'll know in the back of your mind, you kind of got ripped off, if you will. I mean, if this is already causing a thorn in your side for getting charged almost 3 times the amount, it's like, then don't buy into this. There's other ways of doing it. You could go to the city hall and then take the money and go on a nice honeymoon. Like I said, invest it into a home for your legacy. I think we had a discussion. Invest it in the S&P and make like $10 million in 10 years or whatever. There's other ways of investing the money, and this is just a brief celebration. I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm not trying to say minimize it by any way. These things are great things. It's a celebration of love and togetherness and a brand new relationship and a commitment that everyone is saying, if you have a religion in it, before God, you're God. But if it's something to where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting ripped off, then either, do plan B or invest the money in something that's going to be, you're going to see dividends on, like a home. Down the road. Start a legacy and start with the first home. The memories, it's like, okay, this is where we had our wedding. Isn't that beautiful? Or this house we've had in our family for the past 25 years. Our kids grew up here. We had them birthdays there, and we had graduations there. And, our kids actually ended up getting married there when they were old. I mean, there's a lot of things that can, happen in a home that you've built for a legacy. Or, thinking of just other ways to invest the money rather than into the wedding machine.
Yeah. And all right, so this one influencer came under scrutiny for saying that, do I even have it here anymore? I might not have. Where is it? I had all this. Here we go. This one TikToker, Sasha, came under scrutiny for going viral, posting a highly controversial video criticizing elaborate hood proms because the celebrations, because she said that the black community are tied to baby mama culture, and that young women in the inner city treat their prom as it's their one big day because they're unlikely to ever get married. And I kind of agree with this. The statistics say that Kevin Samuels always used to promote on his podcast were that only 1 in 4 black women will ever get married. A lot of them are more prone to like have children out of wedlock, and recently I didn't save the article, but recently there was it just happened like last week or something. There was this young gentleman who brought like a large wad of cash to his prom celebration, and he was unfortunately gunned down by some armed assailants, and it was just a very senseless act of armed robbery that I think could have been avoided, and it's really unfortunate that that happened, so yeah, I mean, do you have any observations or opinions on that?
It's horrible to have somebody lose their life over a bankroll, or it's just, especially he's probably a high schooler, 16, 17 years old, had his whole life ahead of him.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate. I mean, kind of goes back to what are we really investing in? Are we investing in a celebration of one night, and we're just going to live it up, or we're going to invest that money into something else? I mean, to each his own. If someone wants to throw that much, throw a bunch of cash around and say, look at me, I've got some money. Okay. But you're going to be a target. And that poor kid was a target.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. And I would think for at least guys that know their worth, they don't they don't need to lead with their wallet.
Yeah.
You know, they don't need to be showing how much money they have. There's other ways of creating attraction and creating a world that's not, you know, started with money as the attraction quality. I mean, that's probably something. Think of it this way: if you go out with somebody and the guy's doing all these really fun things, and it doesn't have, it's like, oh, we're going to go and you know, goof off at a pinball machine or pinball, you know, an arcade or something. We're going to go play some video games, and then we're going to go down by the beach and, you know, we'll grab a couple beers and just walk the sand, and then afterwards we're going to go and just maybe have like a light drink somewhere, or maybe, you know, just whatever. Oh, there's this outdoor concert, and I just want to go see this band. It's really cool. And then you end up getting like backstage or something because you know the guy or whatever. Just create an environment where you can do that with not a whole lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always nice after the fact, if you bring someone in, they really like you and they're really attracted to you, and then you're like, oh yeah, we're going out, and by the way, I've set us up a trip to Cancun or the Bahamas. It's you know, we're staying at a place, and you know, we got everything set up. I got it, you know, I got us. Oh my gosh, I didn't know, you know, you're so generous. It's like, yeah, I can afford it. I can deal with this stuff. There's other ways to flex.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like, see all my money and now I'm a target. By the way, like that's how guys get sucked into, you know, paying for prostitutes.
Yep.
And thinking that they're leading with their wallet in relationships, because if that's what you're going to lead with, if you're going to lead with money, then that's what you're going to attract.
Yep.
Is people who just want your money.
Yeah, it's so much better for them to discover that you're rich rather than you like leading with your, yeah, like why are you like twirling your Lamborghini keys around at the nightclub? It'd be so much better for them to like, you know, for them to have sex with you that night, and then as they're leaving your place, maybe they like see you you know, like with a Lamborghini in your driveway. That would be a much better example of them discovering your wealth rather than you leading with it. And it's going to be much more, it's going to have much more power to it as well.
Create a world where it doesn't focus on how much money you can show. Create a world that it's just fun and inviting, and you can show how many friends you have, and you do these really fun things together, and you have a large social circle that people enjoy being around you. You have a lot of connections, and if it just so happens to be, you know, you're fairly well off, you know, bonus, kudos.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're leaving with money, then it's like those that are attracted to money only, you know, that's what you're going to get.
In other hood prom,
it's unfortunate. Yeah,
in other hood prom news,
I was just gonna say it's unfortunate that kid had to lose his life.
Yeah, it's terrible. But in the executive director of the Markham Park District in Illinois, Kentina Brown, hired a helicopter to land in a public park for her daughter's pre-prom photo shoot, and the public called the unpermitted aircraft landing reckless due to public safety concerns, and then it came out that the private aircraft was purchased for with tax revenue. So like she's under a ton of scrutiny just so she could send her daughter to prom in a helicopter, which is such an exorbitant expense. Like I remember my dad drove me to my junior prom and my senior prom. Like we split a party bus 10 ways, you know, like that's how it should be. I don't think that I think would it be really cool to like rent a Lamborghini for the night? Yeah, like and if you can afford it, nobody is telling you not to. But if you need to dip into the taxpayer's purse to like do it, like there should be like an alarm that goes off in your head that says like what I'm doing is deeply immoral.
I guess that's going to be an oopsie for her because she's going to have to provide rationale and evidence as to
Adric
why
Mallon
to
said,
justify
"A
this.
hot car makes me attractive even though I am fat, bald, and have a 2-inch penis. That's my big surprise for the ladies."
if you
Surprise.
if you really have like if you really have your life together, I don't even think they'll care that you have a micro penis. But you gotta really have all the other aspects of your personality like very attractive. If you're
Go ahead, Chris.
I'm just saying like I do have, it reminds me of another Reddit advice that we have in here. Should I skip to it? I guess let's skip to it now that I'm
Well, I was going to say really quick
Mm-hmm.
here. I would love to have a poll of all of the women that would be okay if their man has a Lamborghini and a penis of 2 inches. Show me the women like that's perfectly fine. Yeah, and then ask, are you going to be in a monogamous, committed relationship with this
Adric
man?
Mallon said, "Lol."
And you know what really bugs me is the like the trope about whenever you see like a Corvette or a Dodge Viper and the women are like, oh, that's a midlife crisis mobile. He's just living out his midlife crisis. It's like I feel like guys don't ever like poke fun at women for going through their midlife crisis. Like when women in their 50s all of a sudden get like Botox and lip filler and boob jobs, like guys aren't like, oh, she's living out her midlife crisis body, like and also show me the 21 or the 31-year-old who's able to drop like $100,000 on a car. It doesn't happen. The only time that it is like likely that you are financially well off to afford a convertible or a Corvette or like a Viper or whatever is when you're probably in your late 40s, early 50s. That's the most common time where a man would have that discretionary income.
So
Adric Mallon said, "A woman having an
heard about
HTO flash is dangerous. Us guys know that."
what I was going to say is the whole thing with a midlife crisis, I think it's just another way to shame men.
Mm-hmm.
One way to look at if a man is going out and buying a Corvette or going out and buying whatever, like what is that, the Shelby? I can't remember that car. That's a Shelby. It's like a 2-seater. It's like a little hot rod. It's older. It's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But if a guy is going out and buying a nice souped up car, or maybe something that's just maybe not as expensive, maybe they're into, I don't know, like mountain biking or road biking, they go out and buy like a $15,000 bike or something, and they finally do something where they wanted to do this. Instead of, I would suggest, looking at it as a midlife crisis, it's this guy is finally doing something.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this from the lens of he's in a family, he has kids, he's taking care of everybody, he's working a ton, he's taking care of the house, he's doing all of these things. He's doing all of these things for everybody else. He's doing these things for his spouse, his children, his animals that he has. He's taking care of all these other people, but he's just, the last thing that's being taken care of is him.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to go out and buy something that's going to make him feel somewhat alive in his own way should be, I would suggest, embraced rather than used as a shaming tactic. You know, if he's married and he buys this nice souped up car, it's like, sweetie, you can go along. I mean, I'm sure he's probably inviting her along. Come with me let's go for a ride in the car. We'll put the top down and we'll cruise somewhere, and then we'll go spend the weekend at a hotel, and we'll just have a great time together. And the kids are old enough to where they can take care of themselves. Let's just go have some fun. I bought this car so we can enjoy ourselves, and it's going to make him feel more invigorated. And that might show, some attractive qualities that you might have not have seen in him. Like, I'm talking to the ladies out there with his husband. They're like, I think he's going through a midlife crisis. Like, no, he's finally doing something for himself, and he might bring out something that you've missed, or maybe that hasn't been in him for a long time. And you might find that attractive. And if you start showing like, wow, you seem very relaxed, you seem very happy, and thank you for all you do. Just some little appreciation like that. He's going to be on top of the world, and he's going to appreciate you right back.
Yep.
I think men are going to be like, this is, wow, oh my gosh, he said, this is great. After knowing what he's doing for the rest of the family and giving some appreciation for that's what I think of when I hear somebody like, oh, I think he's going through a midlife crisis. It's like, no, he's finally doing a little something for himself. And that's not bad.
So
he will share that too.
yeah, like I mean, they say that the two numbers that are correlated to like self-confidence and self-esteem in women is weight, and men is bank account. So like if a woman is in good shape and her weight is at a like ideal level, she's going to exude confidence and self-esteem, and her like mood is going to be high. And if a man is like financially well put together and he can cover all of his own bills and he doesn't have to stress about money, he's going to be exuding like confidence and self-esteem and joy. And I think that it should be celebrated, not vilified when people are living their best life, you know?
Yeah, I think there's certain boundaries. Like, you don't want, like, a guy shouldn't be, like, there's a lot of really pretty women out there. And by the time a woman is 20 years old, they've been approached by more people than a man will probably experience. Most men will experience in their entire lifetime. So they've heard everything. And if you're like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, if that's your lead off, you're probably not going to get together with that woman. But if you're in a committed relationship, you've been together for a long time, and she's dressing up for you, like you come home from work and she's dressed up for you, she's made dinner for you, show her appreciation, tell her how beautiful she looks, and just let her know that you're thankful that you're together. You know, these little things mean a lot to a woman. They want to know that the man that they're with is still attracted to them, but they also want to know that the man that they're with is still going to be able to protect and provide. As corny as that may sound, or as outdated that may sound, a guy that can take care of himself and that can take care of others is an attractive quality, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the next one, and this what Rick said made me think of this, and I honestly. I tend to take the man's side a lot when we do these things, but every now and again I'll encounter a woman that like says or does something that makes me like really want to applaud her, and this is one of those girls. So she says no advice needed. Although I think something can be done. It seems like both her and her husband are throwing in the towel on this one, and that's unfortunate because I think that there is definitely something that can be done. And maybe you can think of some things that can be done. No advice needed. Trust me.
I'll do my best.
No advice needed. Trust me, we've tried everything and many years of trying with minimal improvement. This really is just venting because I will not talk about our sex life with people that I know. We have been together since we were in high school. After sex, he would always say, "I'm sorry, I can't last long with you." And when I was 16, I took it as a compliment. Sometimes all I would have to do is kiss him and he would come. Wait, where's my do not come one?
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna come. Sometimes I would kiss him and he would just come. I really thought as the years went by, he would be able to last longer. Nope. 17 years and one child later, and it's still maybe 10 pumps to 30 seconds of penetration, and that's all it has ever been. He can't go a second round. It won't work no matter what we do. He can come once a day, but he says he really prefers every other day. We've tried delay spray. I have no idea what that is. It maybe added another 5 pumps. All right, well, that's something. That's improvement. Years of attempted edging. We tried the rhino pills, and they were about the same, but they made him feel sick. So I said, please stop trying to use those. We tried games like if you come before me, then I get to buy everything in my online shopping cart. I swear that made him come faster somehow. He had his testosterone checked, and it was pretty low, so he got the Hims testosterone supplements to try that out. It's been about 8 months. He said it feels like there is increased blood flow, and that's the only thing he has noticed. He does feel a bit harder to me, but so far it does nothing for lasting longer or the frequency. He really is the most amazing guy, which is why I have been with him for all this time. He does everything right and always puts his family first. I'm completely in love with him still, and he's really my best friend. He doesn't cheat, no porn addiction, no drugs, no alcohol. He's never raised his voice at me. He's an incredible father. He's hardworking. He brings me home surprises, does chores around the house without me asking. He's not selfish in bed. It's not like he goes in and gets his rocks off and that's that. He makes me feel pretty and wanted, does the foreplay, makes sure that I come first unless we're really pressed for time. Then I'll handle it quickly. I guess he's a lucky guy because I never really say no to sex or a blowjob. I mean, after all, who doesn't have 30 seconds to spare? I don't talk about him coming quickly unless I don't talk about him coming quickly unless he says something and wants to talk about it. It's not like he can change it, so I try not to make him feel bad about it. I have a really high libido and always have. I don't know if that's just how I am, or if it's because I'm not truly satisfied. Sometimes, so I still am horny after. He has like post-nut clarity after he comes, so he's not really into it afterwards. He tried to do more for me after, but I could tell he's not entirely into it, so I don't ask for anything more and try to do everything before instead. I have plenty of toys, most of them he bought for me, even a sex machine, which I wonder what a sex machine is. Is that like just this penetrating?
Oh my God, I can't believe she's telling us. Oh my God. I get it, Chris. I get it.
All right. We're almost
in there. Where she,
wait. Okay. All right.
Okay. I was gonna say. Okay. All right.
I'll just say, yeah. It's almost over. He's far from vanilla. He just can't do what we both want to do, so we rely on toys for longer sessions. Toys are fun for the most part, but I really just want him. To me, nothing feels better than he does. Fingers crossed that one day I will have mind-blowing sex that I fantasize about having with him. All right. Now it's done.
It's been 17 years. It's so. The one thing she didn't say is like, did they go to a therapist?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Is he doing any? Yeah. Is he doing anything to read about? Like, is he super sensitive down there? Is it a psychological issue?
It's got to
or
be.
Is it just like an exposed nerve? Well. It could be a physical issue where like there's an exposed nerve where it's just like it gets overstimmed and all of a sudden whatever the reason, it's like they've just taken it upon themselves. And I am not. I mean, there's no like. It doesn't sound like he's being very. She even I think mentioned this, not being the most aggressive guy in the bedroom. But there's a way to be aggressive with consent. And still last a while, and take care of her needs and then take care of your needs. I mean, this thing just sounds like he's just so overstimmed, but he's also doing things that are very, like, I'll let you lead, and for a better word, just not being very masculine in the bedroom, and maybe not being very patient. And there's so many things like. Do they tease each other first? Is there there's techniques to make yourself last longer? Are they even practicing any of those things? Is he doing anything it sounds like he's kind of a feminine guy. I mean, it sounds like he's doing a lot of really great things, but he's also not taking very much charge in the bedroom either. And it sounds like she's really in love with him, but then again, she's definitely not satisfied sexually, which after 17 years of being together, that's hopefully that neither of them have cheated on each other, because it'd be great. If they're lying to each other, that's not good. But if they're committed and they've been committed to each other and they love each other, and 17 years and to still hope, it's like no, bro, there's other things to do out there. Start looking at other options because she thinks you're great at every other way except in the bedroom, and that's a major thing. I think.
Yeah, I think consulting a sex therapist would be the number one thing that I would recommend. I'd be surprised if they had never have before.
Yeah, I mean, he probably should talk to another guy or talk to his doctor or somebody. It's like something's going on where if this is like true and he's just like been lasting just 30 seconds for 17 years and this is the only woman he's been with, I mean, something's up there. And whether it's psychological or physical, I would think it would be something that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
I mean, she's feeling like after 17 years, she's now writing about it. She may say it's fine and everything, but she's now telling a world of strangers what's going on with this guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you've got help out there.
Mm-hmm.
It just needs to be addressed because I think at some point, I don't know if the sexual needs are not met. I mean, it sounds like the kids are still there. I don't know. I mean, to me, sex is pretty important, and whoever I'm with, it's like I want to make sure that we're both giving and we're both satisfied with the sex life, and I can't. It's like I kind of feel bad for her. She's like 30 seconds and 10 strokes, and he's done. Oh, okay. It sounds like they've tried everything, but the emotional. He's thinking something's going on. Maybe it's emotional, maybe it's physical. That would be the first thing that I would suggest looking into is like, you've been doing this for 17, you've been the 32nd man for 17 years. Bro, for your sake and for your wife's sake, talk to somebody else about that. Talk to some serious professionals. Start reading some books. Think of some different techniques or anything you can do in the bedroom. Maybe step up your masculine game a little bit. Be a little more dominant. Get a little edgy. With whatever she's comfortable with. Obviously, consent.
Rick Mallon said he needs to memorize the 1929 Yankees roster, or he is gonna find his wife riding the washing machine on spin cycle.
Exactly. She's gonna be doing a load of laundry every 15 minutes, and my best friend Ryan, when I early in my youth, when I was having issues similar to this, he would tell me to just visualize like my favorite basketball player, Kobe Bryant, like just visualize Kobe Bryant having like an amazing game or whatever, like just take your brain out of the pure ecstasy that you are enduring right now and just visualize like something that you think is beautiful but not sexual, because like you don't want to like start thinking about like grandma feet or something like that, because then you're gonna like lose it, but like you want to just it could be anything. Think about like a souped up like muscle car driving down the freeway, or think of anything that is like satisfying but not going to like make you boil over.
Yeah, if I was this guy, if his indication that his wife is okay with it, why would he need to do anything different?
Yeah.
If she's like, yep, I'm fine with that, 30 seconds, good to go. But she's telling the world
Rick Mallon
she's actually
said,
not.
Visualize Kobe Bryant while getting laid may not be a good thing.
It worked for me, kinda. Now, like nowadays, I don't need any.
I would agree that. Yeah.
I don't need any type of like visualization these days, but just like my advice would be for him to go. Like Happy Gilmore, when Happy Gilmore goes to his happy place. Like he needs to go to his happy place, although it can't involve like
it sounds like he's already there. It sounds like it's already there. He's like, yep, I'm there. Yep, okay, I'm done. It's like maybe she needs to tell him, like it sounds like they're aware of it, but she's okay with it. And maybe she needs to bring some books or do something else to make him like, let's start really diving into this, because I would like more than 30 seconds. Like she should probably let that out a little more, because she feels comfortable enough to tell the world. She should be able to be comfortable enough to start. She should go to him first to say, I love you. I love what you do for me. However, let's see what we can do to make this last longer. Because I really, she like, maybe help him feel safe and comfortable. Put him in a safe space so he can explore this without shame or judgment.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's like he talks to somebody, or maybe he reads a book, he's going to start feeling a lot of shame, discomfort, because there's 17. I can't escape that. 17 years of 30 seconds every other day. Oh my goodness. Oh.
I know.
I feel bad for her too. Oh no.
I know people in the pornography industry use like numbing cream. So maybe like getting, and this is probably very bad for your heart on a long-term thing. So maybe you just do this like once a month, but get like super hopped up on like Mr. Nasty Time blue pills, like the 100 milligrams, take 200 milligrams. So you just have this like rager all night long. I wouldn't, like I said,
without a doctor's orders, I would not recommend that. Talk to a doctor before taking any of that stuff.
Yeah,
maybe those rhino pills are just a generic version of Viagra.
Yeah,
it's you need to talk to a professional before you start taking anything that's prescription like that.
Okay,
especially with I have 17 years. 30 seconds every other day, 17 years. So the dude is like, this is a pattern. And they're like, he buys her toys. It's like, okay, you're taking care of all of her needs. Okay, but she wants you to last longer, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to start working on yourself, man. Look at how, what are the things that you can talk to somebody, read up books, talk to your doc, talk to somebody you trust in confidence. Read some books about this. Figure out what's going on. Are you getting just overly excited, or is your nerve exposed? Are you like, oh my god? But I mean, there's other ways to combat this. But it sounds like they've just accepted this pattern and they're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they need to change it up a little bit. There's like I was saying, there's ways to be more masculine and a little more aggressive in bed with consent. But this sounds like he's trying to do everything for her, and the one time he does catch a nut, it's like it's over so fast that maybe he's just not comfortable doing something for himself. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest maybe
that
like
would be something I would suggest you would explore.
Maybe like I mean, definitely we're both in agreement. Seek a medical physician, seek a psychological therapist. Both people who specialize in this type of thing. I'm sure you're not the first person that they've ever helped in these two areas. Whether it's I think it is a combination of both a physical stimulus and a psychological state of being, and both need to be addressed and worked out. And hopefully you can see improved results from it. Okay, on to the next one. And actually, let me do a quick advertisement, guys. I hope you guys are having a good new year. I mean, we're about like halfway through the new year, so I hope you guys are having a good year. If you maybe have a guy at home who's a 30-second minute man, or he's a 10-pump chump, but maybe he handles all the other business around the house. He's a family man. He's a handyman. He takes care of all of the other pipes in the plumbing, except for the most important pipe, which is, we know what we're getting at. Maybe you want to get him a gift for Father's Day. Father's Day is coming up really soon. You're not sure what to give him? I say that you should get him, if he's the protector and provider and your king and your lover, treat him to Holler Boys jerky on any occasion. Peach bourbon, honey habanero, southern barbecue, fuego, Chesapeake, and original flavors to light his taste buds ablaze. Located in Middletown, Delaware, Holler Boys is the only place I go for clean, lean beef jerky that doesn't have any trash ingredients like preservatives and nitric acids. Holler Boys caters to a paleo or keto diet, features Worcestershire sauce, brown sugar, apple juice, and soy sauce, and more. It's a high-protein food, which is why I incorporate it in my weekly snacking routine. For flavor for days that'll make you holler and stretch your dollar, go to hollerboysjerky.com. That's holler with an A. Once again, that's hollerboysjerky.com. Okay. So back to our advice. And we'll go for about, I don't know, like 30 more minutes. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay. I'm a 42-year-old man. I married my wife 42 years ago. This is our second marriage for both of us. I have a daughter who's 17 from my first marriage. She doesn't have kids. When we got married, we explicitly agreed to keep our finances separate. We have a joint account for household expenses that we both contribute to, but everything else stays in our own accounts. This was my idea originally because I wanted to make sure my daughter's college fund stayed protected for her. My daughter is applying to college now, and apparently the fund I set up for her isn't going to cover everything she needs. She got into a school that costs around $65,000 a year. The college fund has about $80,000 in it, which would cover maybe a year and a half. Last week, I asked my wife if she'd be willing to help cover some of the costs since we're married and my daughter is technically her stepdaughter now. She said no. She makes good money as a consultant, about $140,000 a year, but she says that her own financial goals are important to her, and we agreed when we got married that that our money would stay separate. I got really upset and said I didn't think she'd actually hold me to that when it comes to my daughter's education. I said that this is different than regular expenses and that family should help family. She reminded me that keeping finances separate was my idea specifically to protect my daughter's money. I said that was about protecting her from potential issues, not her refusing to help when my daughter needs it. My ex-wife found out about this somehow and called my wife saying she's being selfish. My daughter hasn't said anything directly, but she's been really cold to my wife lately. My sister says my wife is technically right, but being kind of heartless. My best friend says we had an agreement and I can't change the rules now just because it doesn't work in my favor anymore. Am I the asshole for expecting my wife to help with college costs even though we agreed to keep finances separate?
The man's sister is right.
Yeah.
The man's sister said, yeah, she's right, but she's being kind of heartless, and I would agree with that. And I would also say, they set up the parameters of the budget before they got
At
married.
Gallo Chingan said,
there's
yo,
probably-
how about you send link a day before?
What's up, Gaio? Okay, that's a good idea. I think I will start doing that. Send the link a day before so that way I can get more people and then just let them know. That's a good idea. Thank you, Gaio. I will. Sorry. Go on, Glenn.
Yeah, good. You're good. So, I was just saying the man's sister is correct that, they didn't agree to that. She has her own financial goals, and this would be disruptive. It is a bit cold-hearted, and it kind of shows her character and who she is, especially if she's making good money. There's ways to budget and help out with the unforeseen future. I mean, there's things to do it that are kind-hearted, and there's things to do it that's kind of cold-hearted, and this is kind of cold-hearted, I would think. So I would agree with this man's sister. There's other ways to approach it too, rather than saying, hey, I'm going to be falling short. Is there anything you can do or have any ideas to help me out so my daughter doesn't fall short, rather than just asking for money? Because, I don't know, money makes things sticky with families. It can be, it can lead to a lot of downfall, and you don't want that to get in between. You don't want money to get in between love for the family. And if there aren't clear boundaries around money that are established early on, I believe, then it's going to cause problems down the road, whether it's your family by blood or family by marriage or whatever. Those boundaries should be established early on. So there's other ways of approaching this, and it's one thing for it's something else where the ex-wife found out about it and then she's mad at the stepmom. Well, is mom even contributing to this would be my question too. It's like, well, what is the contribution for mom, and whatever the stepmom wants to do, it's sort of her business, but it's not. It's up to the stepmom. But mom can also be like, hey, let's try and figure something else out. Let's find a resolution to this too. Hey, let's work with the dad and the mom. Let's do something right. At least do it for the child. If they can't work it out, maybe do something right for the child. Hey, maybe somebody else can contribute somewhere else. Maybe something else can be happen. Maybe there's a scholarship somewhere. Maybe there's a fundraiser you can do. There's a lot of other alternatives rather than putting everything onto this stepmom.
Also, like, if she's able to get into a $65,000 a year school, I would assume she's able to get into every single more affordable school in the area. So, it might not be what the daughter wants to hear, but maybe consider sending her to a cheaper school. Maybe starting off at a community college or state school, and then like graduating. Once she graduates with her undergrad, maybe then she could go to her dream school or whatever like that. Also, I mean,
or
mm-hmm.
Go ahead, finish, Chris.
No, I was basically also studies show that full-time students who are also full-time employees that are like paying for their own college, their grades tend to be better because they are not like dicking around with mom and dad's money. Like when students are paying for their own college, they tend to perform better because they understand how important it is to perform so well. So I would also
That's exactly where I was going to go. I was going to say maybe the mom and dad can get together and look for other options. If the stepmom's like, hey, this is outside of the budget. I'm sorry, I just can't. However she put it, whatever. She's not going to contribute. Fine. Don't. You tried that route. She doesn't want to do it. Okay, fine. Maybe the mom and dad should get together, and look for other alternatives. If they come up with nothing, and then they can go to the daughter, or dad can go to the daughter. Hey, this is the amount of money I have for your college education. If you want to go to this school, great. This is how much I can afford for you to,
Yeah.
I got your first 2 years covered. After that, you're on your own.
Yeah.
It's life. That's the way it is. If you want to go to this other school, your tuition is going to be covered for 4 years. If you want to stay for your master's or get a doctorate or whatever, that's going to be on you. Or if you want to, find scholarships or whatever you want to do, that's going to be on you. But you're going to have to do that. Maybe there's something to be said about giving the daughter some responsibility and some accountability in this as well.
Yeah.
If she's like, I'm dead set on going to Duke University and it's going to cost, a ton of money. Okay, great. That's fine. This is how much we can afford for you to go. And, we've tried all these other avenues. And if you want to go there, at one point, you're going to have to start earning the money and finding out, finding a way to pay for this. Let me know how you're going to do it. If I was her father, I would just suggest, let's figure out a way that you can earn a few more bucks so you can finish off your education. But if the budget's a budget, that's it. He's only been married to this woman for 2 years, and he's already trying to blow up the budget. It's like, I don't know if it's good to go down that route. It's disappointing she doesn't want to help, but then again, it was something that was unexpected, and she, you told her you got
At
covered.
Gallo Chingan said, female and accountability? Lol.
It's a tough one. I know. It's a tough one, but if dad can start the daughter on being accountable early, hopefully that'll carry a long ways. Yeah, accountability is a tough one.
Okay, so the next one is USA. Is that maybe Oklahoma, USA? Probably, I guess, Oklahoma, USA. My dad married an amazing woman when I was 19 years old. I had already moved out, and I was on my own at the time. It's 20 years later now, and my dad passed away 3 years ago. My stepmom has been understandably depressed, and her health has been in decline since. She's currently in hospice. My dad nor her have written wills. At this point, she's incapable of writing one. I'm out of the state, so she has given her best friend of 50 years power of attorney. My stepmom's older brother has been receiving an allowance from her because he's terrible financially. Would he receive everything my parents owned upon her passing? I hate to think about this kind of thing while my stepmom is slowly fading away, but I also hate to think of everything my dad has worked for his entire life going to someone who will surely squander it away.
Talk to a lawyer. You need to talk to a lawyer, not Reddit. Why
Yeah.
are you typing stuff up on Reddit? Spend your time on talking to a really good lawyer. Talk to somebody, a friend, a trusted friend, on a good lawyer on who knows wills and all this information. This is so far outside of my wheelhouse. But the only thing I would suggest doing if this was my best friend would be to start looking for a good lawyer. Don't fuck around.
Yeah, I bet you this stuff happens all the time, and this is why.
Yes.
This is definitely why I think you want to like go at the will process probably like half a decade before it's even necessary, because like if you wait until the last second, then it's gonna be very like it's at a time when you're not emotionally able to like process all that grief and impending doom. Like the last thing you want to be thinking about is finances and stuff like that. So I'd say establish a will at an early point in life before it is too late.
There's no reason to wait. Yeah, there's no reason to wait. I think it's a very smart idea to have a will, especially if you're married, especially if you have children. You don't want the family dynamics being fought over after you pass. You want to make your wishes known clear. Like I said, this guy, if this was my buddy, he needs to speak to a lawyer right away. And there's going to be issues since his stepmom's best friend has power of attorney. You know, and the father didn't have a will. It's going to be pretty challenging. But he needs to speak with a legal expert on this one, not post anything on Reddit.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is I accidentally let a drunk girl sleep on my chest, and now I can't stop thinking about her. I was standing alone in the party in a corner. The music was loud.
Adric Mallon said, "This is why you need to plan. I blame the dad for this situation. Sad stuff."
I do too. Like you want to disperse. Wait.
At Gallo Chingan said, "Been in a similar situation. All it's gonna do is add stress and resentment, and they let go up a lot of money and property just to have my own peace. Wasn't mine to begin with, and I'm happy with my life."
Yeah.
Yes.
What were we gonna say?
If you have, especially have children and loved one, going back to the man without the will, it's very, very important that wishes on what you want to do with your estate and investments need to be put into a will as soon as possible. I would say the moment you get married, if you're a young guy and you've built some wealth, get a will prepared and signed by a decent lawyer. And that's because that is your wishes on how you want everything you've put together through your lifetime, however long or short it is, to be dispersed among the people that you love. If you have a huge family and you have millions and billions of dollars and I want everything donated to charity, blah, 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 that's your wish. That's the money you earned, and that's how you want it dispersed after you pass. If you're like, I have billions of dollars and I want it to be shared amongst my closest family members only, that's your wish. That's how you want it, and you need to get that in writing, or the family is going to lose their freaking mind and fight over everything, and it just is really bad.
Yep.
Sorry. So this guy had somebody pass out on his chest and he can't stop thinking about her. Okay.
At Rick Mallon said, and also make a living will to make it easy for everyone when you die. At Gallo Chingan said, no will, get a trust, bypass probate and taxes.
That's interesting. And I would love to speak to like somebody who's really well versed in like that like living trust thing, because I think that is also, I think that's going to gain popularity as soon as people start to realize how much more beneficial it is to receive an inheritance in life rather than in death, because it is it can be like really, it can be like really daunting to, for all of that to go on, especially when you're grieving somebody.
Yes. Let the wishes be known. Talk to a professional. Talk to a lawyer about how to set this up. Talk to a really good lawyer that does wills, somebody that has a lot of experience and that you trust. But yeah, this is way outside my wheelhouse, Chris. So I would just be like, refer to legal experts on this. But that's the only thing I would say is like, I would refer this to legal experts and make sure, if your parents don't have something, get it done. There's no reason not to do it.
Yeah.
I would almost say it's a liability. It's not good for the children to be the decision makers of a parent's will.
Yeah.
Money, what money does to people, it brings out who they really are, and it's not always the best.
Yep. So, all right, back to this guy with the drunk girl. This is inside your wheelhouse. So I was standing alone in the party in a corner.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't remember any chance on my chest.
The music was loud. I could barely hear my own voice. Everyone was drinking. I wasn't. Everyone was smoking weed. I wasn't. I simply decided not to get intoxicated that night. After all, I'm here against my will. My friends begged me to come, and they brought me here forcefully, and I haven't seen them for the past 2 hours. Then a random guy I've never seen in my entire life leans his elbow on my shoulder. He was so drunk, he points at a girl from across the room and says, "Yo, bro, that girl is I fucking you, dude." Ha ha ha. Hiccup. Lucky you. Then he walks away. The girl saw him pointing right at her. She blushed, but she never looked away. She kept eye contact for a few seconds. Then I couldn't take my eyes off her. I'm not dealing with blah, blah, blah. It's not going anywhere. So the doubt is creeping in. It's not going anywhere. Pointless. Okay, I'll look at her one last time. As soon as I look at her direction, I see her walking up to me. Oh shit, this is not good. I'm so not ready for small talk with a girl I've never met or seen before, especially a girl as pretty as her. She gets close enough to reach my hand and grabs it. She pulls me, and I followed. She was leading me somewhere. Another guy being led by women. Okay. She took my hand, grabbed it. She pulled me, and I followed. She was leading me somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. This is not for me. For the past as long as I could remember, I've rejected every single girl who tried to flirt with me. I just didn't like relationships, and I didn't like where they usually led to. But right now, this girl is leading me to I don't know where, and I'm just following like a dog. She walked me up the stairs fast. She walked me into a room, pushed me inside, locked the door, and she got in. She looked at me and said, "Are you ready?" Is she talking about sex? Yeah, buddy. She's talking about sex. I am so not ready. I've never been ready. Ready for what? I said. She starts removing her clothes, saying there isn't much time because she promised her dad to be home at 2:00. Well, she listens to her father. She's got probably a good relationship with him. That's a green flag. And it's literally 1:15 a.m. right now. She was extremely drunk. She pulled up her shirt, telling me to take off my clothes. I looked at her upper body since she only removed her shirt and kept the bra on. She was hot as fuck. I've never seen a girl and thought she was...
Let me interrupt you, Chris.
Okay.
Is there a question in this, or is this a Reddit thing, or from the Penthouse forum?
This is Reddit, because I think...
I mean...
all right, so here's where his question comes in.
What's the question?
I've never blah blah blah. The only time I feel horny is when I wake up in the morning with wood, and I don't imagine anything, not even a woman. Her body was like carved by hands from the stars with gold and gems and silver. Her waist was small. Her boobs were 3 times bigger than my fist. For the first time, focus on every blah, 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 blah.
Write poetry instead of writing on Reddit.
For the first time,
Is there
okay.
a question anytime soon? What is going on?
Okay, so she walked up to him and he realized she's drunk, I'm sober, this is not right. I snatched the bottle from her hand and started drinking. I finished the bottle and waited. This sounds like McLovin or with
I'm gonna get just a drunk. Yeah. What are we doing here?
she pushed me on the bed, she climbed on me and kissed my lips. This is not right. Then she said, we're going to fuck so hard right now. I'm going to take control. I'm going to give you the best below J ever.
So where is the question? Is there a question? Or are we just talking?
So then
I
said,
feel like, are we venting? Is the dude venting? Or are we helping this guy out with something?
so then basically it seems like all of this just led up to she went to kiss him and then she laid her head on his chest. And then she started softly snoring. Did she just pass out on top of me? What a fucking drag. I told myself. She placed a hand on my chest and adjusted her head position a little, saying nom 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 in her sleep. I thought it was so cute before I told...
Rick Mallon said, this is a Penthouse Forum letter.
She passed out.
Okay, so a few minutes later, I wrapped my arms around her. What am I doing? This is so not me. What the hell am I feeling? I wish she never wakes up, but I want her to wake up so bad. I'm not in control of myself right now. I open my eyes to the sun on my face. I sit up and look around. Where the fuck am I? And then I remembered there was a whole angel on top of my chest last night. I got out of the room and immediately saw the girl. We locked eyes. She looked away so fast and rushed out of my sight. I do not like what's going on to me right now. Why did she run away? Of course, a girl like her would never get with me. She was so drunk, but now she's probably disgusted. And that's where it ends. So I guess, I suppose
shame for getting. Yeah, go ahead.
I suppose that is more of a Penthouse Forum, rather than a column asking for advice.
Yeah, it just sounds like he's feeling ashamed for trying to get just as drunk as this girl who passed out on him. And then she was embarrassed, and then he was embarrassed. And it's like, okay. Huh. Yeah.
Okay, this lady is actually asking for advice. So she's a 29-year-old female. She spent most of her 20s focused on her career. I've done well academically and professionally, financially, and now I'm ready to take dating a bit more serious. I just finished residency a year ago. I'm a hospitalist now. I guess that means she's like a doctor. Like, I don't know why she said, is hospitalist an actual word? I've never heard that. Okay. Yeah. Getting ready to settle down and for the next stage of life with kids and all. I typically date people similar age, 25 to 35, and similar income. I guess I'm a bit picky. I don't have issues getting dates, but obviously not met a man I want to marry and have kids with. A lot of men who make higher incomes prefer a more supportive wife, and they can take care of the finances. I would rather someone who does it with me. So I thought I would be more open-minded and date outside my tax bracket. There was this attractive male who was a substitute teacher who asked me out, a cousin of a patient, actually, and asked where I wanted to go. I happened to want to check out a new restaurant across town. At dinner, he only ordered a pasta dish. I ordered 2 drinks, an appetizer for the table, entree for myself, and I got a dessert to go because the date was going downhill by then. I ordered the dessert at the beginning because he said he liked butter cake, so I got it to share, but later I changed it to go for him to take home. He asked if I really needed to order that much food at an expensive restaurant. I told him he's welcome to the appetizer and dessert can be shared. If money is an issue, I'm happy to cover what I ordered or even cover his pasta too. There's no reason to limit ourselves and encouraged him to order whatever he wants so we can have a good time. Apparently this was the wrong thing to say. And she was.
This is the first date?
This is a first date, and she kind of got a little too generous, and I think he took it the wrong way as she was like kind of criticizing his like finances.
Right. So it sounded like, so she's in the top. She's probably making at least
At Gallo
probably
Chingan
250 or
said,
more.
raise Glenn's volume a bit.
Gotcha.
Do I need to speak in there?
It was raised. Thank you for telling me.
Okay. Yeah. I'll speak close to the mic as well. Thank you. So first of all, she's 29, 30 years old, and she's looking for dating someone that's about 30 to 35, right?
Yeah, 25 to 35 was her range that she said.
Yeah. So guys really start hitting their stride as far as a career. It's just starting to get some momentum when guys are usually, in general, around their early 30s, mid 30s. So she's effectively significantly reduced the number of guys that she wants to go out with if she was looking for dating someone similar in her not money bracket, in her salary range. Like usually women want to be with somebody that's making just as much or more, and she's probably making about 250K min, I would think, as a physician in a hospital. So that pool of guys that are making 250K is pretty small. I think that's less than 5%, less than 1%, something like that. It's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Pretty small percentage of the guys in the country. So, first it sounds like she has a decent mindset of like, she's okay dating guys outside of her of her income bracket. The second thing I would be suggesting to this woman, at least, it'd be like, don't go out on a first date with dinner. And I would say to the guy too, it's like, if you're going to date someone that's outside of, that's above your how much you earn, don't start with a dinner date first. Get to know each other first. And because a dinner date is, I would say, even regardless if you're not in the same bracket or not. I mean, if you are, great. If you're not, great. But a dinner date is like you've committed at least a couple hours and a decent a few $100 in getting to know someone you barely know. That can be done over some drinks or just doing something fun or silly. It's just the first date should be just kind of low key, getting to know each other and being silly, and is the vibe there, first of all, and then second, it's like I like to be old school, is where I'm going to pay for the first date regardless. Now, if he's picking the restaurant and that kind of stuff, I think she suggested, well, let me go here. I really want to go here. As a first date, he could have just said, hey, I just want to keep this light and casual or something like that. Why don't we just go for drinks or something like that? I mean, I don't know. It seems a bit.
Adric Mallon said, good point. First date should be a meet and greet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
keep it light.
Yeah, I've had some good first dates at restaurants. Now overall, I'm pretty against dating entirely. I think it can be like I think it could be good once you already have like a relationship with a girl, but I would not want to be taken advantage of for my money. And I think dating opens you up to being susceptible for that by a lot of these girls that are like want to go on like foodie calls. But I don't get that vibe from this girl. Like she sounds like she was genuinely just trying to have a good time, and she wasn't too concerned about paying for stuff. And he was unfortunately not in a good place.
I would agree with that. I think it started off like, hey, let's go to dinner, and then she's like, well, yeah, that's great. How about this one? Like, maybe he suggested something, and she's like, well, I really want to go to this one place because I've never been. I'm really excited about it. Like, that would be a great second or third date discussion. I would do this first date would suggest to this guy, do a first date and keep it light, keep it easy. If you really want to do something, just go, get a drink somewhere, just keep it fun, silly, go to an outdoor concert or whatever. Just keep it easy going.
Yeah.
Second date, take her to a place you're familiar with, that the bartender, that the staff, that you've already been with, so you're familiar with it, and you can give her an experience and you're comfortable with it. So there's nothing weird, or she's at a place that she likes, or this is her favorite. Leave that for like the third date or the fourth date, but the first couple of dates should be something like, hey, let's go here, or let's go do something fun. And then the second date, maybe like, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat. It's on me. And if you know that she's making more money than you, make it a joke or talk about it later. Like, I don't know. I got this first one, but if you want a second date with me, if you want a third date with me, it's going to have to be on you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be playful, but I think guys going out to dinner is just something I just feel old school about, just paying for right up front. But if my date's like, no, I've had my last girl that I dated for a few years, she was very generous, and it was like, that's how we did the first couple of dates. It's like, this on me, I got it. And by the third or fourth date, she's like, I want to take you out, let's go to this place. She suggested. I'm like, cool, and she picked up the tab and everything, and it was cool. But at least the first few dates show this is like how I want to have my relationship, and this is what I'm willing to do. And if she wants to be generous with later on, let her decide to do that. But if she's like, hey, let's go to this restaurant, and I'm going to, I'll pay for it, let that come up later, I would suggest.
Yeah.
But sounds like she's a good woman.
Yeah.
She just needs to learn the game a little bit.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's super smart. She's looking to settle down. She wants to have a family. Maybe she just needs to tweak her approach a little bit. Let the guys, if they're willing to lead, let them lead. Don't give them any pressure. If they want to take you out, great. If you want to provide a suggestion, be understandable about they're going to want to feel responsible for paying for everything.
Yeah.
In general, I think most guys are okay with that. But for dinner as a first date, it's like, that might be just a bit much. Might be a lot of pressure for the guy too, especially if she's making bank.
Yeah, I guess my only suggestion for her moving forward would be kind of throw the ball in his court, be like, okay, where would you like to take me, and kind of like allow him to lead.
He should already have that. She shouldn't.
Yeah.
She shouldn't even have to say. He should be like, I've got something planned for us.
Yeah.
And then if she's like, where? Go, oh, it's a surprise. And it'd be like the beach. I mean, keep it really light, easy. You just want to, see if there's a vibe there. Keep it silly, be fun. Don't have to be serious. You're not looking for an application for a job interview. Just keep it chill.
Yeah. All right. The next one, and we're getting back to this inheritance topic. Should I give my mom some of my inheritance? This one's short. Long story short, I'm in my late 20s. My dad recently passed away, and my mom and dad were divorced. They weren't on the best of terms, but 6 months before he died, when he was sick, she was there cutting his nails, scratching his back, doing his hair. She was there with me through every hospital visit, phone call, insurance problem, cleaning out his apartment, emptying his apartment, etc. Do I give my mom some of his inheritance? This is another example of where a will would be great. I mean, I assume he drafted a will and didn't include the mother in it. So what do you think?
Yeah, it sounds like the guy had the will. Yeah, it sounds like his dad had a will, and the money or whatever got dispersed accordingly. The decision to be generous with the inheritance, that's left up to him. I would not want to interfere with any of that, not knowing their relationship, not knowing the relationship between the parents. If something happened, there's so many unknowns with that. To just throw out an opinion would be pretty reckless. I mean, why did they get divorced? Something happened. I mean, who knows? But it sounded like the father, if he really wanted the ex-wife to have something from the will, might have put her in there. If the son is feeling super generous and thinks that she deserves something, okay, cool. If he's like, nope, she doesn't deserve anything, okay. That's now his father said, this is the money for you to have, son. I mean, if there was a stipulation to say, give 10% of this to your mother, like that's what your dad wanted you to do. This is now, I would say this is up to you. You know your mother best. You know her intentions, and you know how she treats you, and blah 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 blah. It's on him. If my best friend like, hey, my dad just gave me all this money, should I give it? I would be, you're the one that knows them best. I would ask, is she pressuring you? Is she doing something? Was she always kind to your dad? Was your dad always kind to her? There's so many unknowns.
Yeah, the little tiny. I have a little tiny feeling, and it's a very short article, so I can't exactly know for sure. But it just seems like 6 months before he passed away, then she becomes Miss Friendly. I don't want to I don't want to accuse anybody of any nefarious acts, especially when I don't know them and I can't observe it. But that is something to consider. It is possible that she's warming up to the father, with hopes that there's going to be some kind of compensation.
Hopefully, he has a best friend, a guy that he really trusts with everything, that will tell him the truth, like a guy that's going to be like, yeah, your mom, despite them getting divorced, still loved your dad really well, and from what you've told me, blah blah blah. Or yeah, your mom really, from what you told me, treated your dad, and from what I saw, treated your dad really bad until he got sick. A person's actions should tell all of us, it should tell you what their intent is. I mean, everyone going out on dates, it's like, how, what does he say versus what does he do?
Yeah.
What does she say versus what does she do? Actions speak louder than words. Always pay attention to the actions. Are they being are they being genuine with what they say? Are they following up with what they do? Or are they just talking shit?
Yeah.
So again, there's so many unknowns with this. It's like, was his mom being super nice toward the end of the dad's life, but the dad was allowing her in it? I mean, so that's why it's really kind of confusing. It's like, So you're asking strangers where you're not giving any details to what kind of major financial decision you want to do. I would say talk to the people you trust most, use your instinct. But this is a decision where your father gave you a certain amount of inheritance because he wanted you to have it. If he wanted his ex-wife to have something, I would think something would have been in there, or your father would have said something. If you think she's deserving, yeah, go for it, man. It's your money. Your dad wanted you to have it. If you feel that you want to be generous and say, yep, I think she's worth it. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. If not, cool. It's your money, man. Yeah.
All right. So this will be our very last one, and then we will wrap it up.
Though the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
So this caught me as very unusual. My spouse wants to take up smoking. Usually you hear people wanting to quit smoking. You never hear people like, you know what? I think I'm going to start smoking. But my spouse and I have been together for 13 years, married for 7 years. We are both turning 34 this year. I'm seeking advice around what to do about the insistence on taking up smoking, which I am opposed to. They casually bring up the idea of smoking as cool and something they wish they could do. I have learned they smoke occasionally at parties when I'm not around. Didn't react well to that. Yesterday, they smoked in front of me while we were at an event together, which I felt crossed a line. We are sort of at a stalemate, and I'm not sure how to approach the topic. We do recreationally drink. They drink more than I do and can have a habit of binge drinking. We are both overweight, though I'm actively working on being more active, like going to the gym 3 times a week as well as running. They've been on GLP-1 blockers for about a year prescribed, and I just think at the age that we're at, I think at the I think at the age that we're at, where their health is, it's a bad idea to pick up this habit. They feel that they're an adult who can
Sorry,
indulge.
Chris.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. Let me interrupt you real quick. I missed who is there is a spouse and she's married with a person, with a man for 7 years, and it's their friends.
They've been married. They've been married.
Smoking?
No. They've been married 13 years, and wait,
13
no.
years. I'm so sorry.
They've been together 13 years. They've been married for 7 years.
Okay.
And the husband is wanting to take up smoking, which is very strange.
Okay. And is it and it's the couple's friends they're the ones that are smokers, and they're the ones that are taking GLP-1s, and so it's not like her spouse, right?
No, it is. It's the husband that's on GLP-1s, and the husband who wants to take up smoking, and he's doing a good amount of binge drinking, and he's smoking at parties when she's not around, and then the other day he smoked in front of her, which didn't go over well. And so, and the husband feels that he's an adult who can indulge in whatever he wants. I recognize that I can't force my opinions on him. I'm just searching for advice.
So she's wanting advice on how to deal with a smoker or a guy that wants her husband who wants to start smoking and do these things.
Yeah, right? I think it's I mean, I personally, I'm not ever one to like advocate for a woman filing for divorce, and I don't think that it is necessarily at that point right now, but I think that I think that they're heading in a very bad direction, and that they need to like maybe seek like couples counseling for sure.
So yeah, something's going on with this guy to start wanting to start taking chances, and as we all know, smoking isn't the most healthiest thing for you.
Yeah.
You're exhaling. I would first ask her, is this something you can tolerate and live with? Because it's gonna affect his health. Obviously. Yeah. It's gonna affect his health, and it's gonna affect the health long term. So if she's like, I'm okay with this, I'm okay with him doing this, and it's like, okay, well, you're married, looking at long-term thing, so you have a will. You have a will set up, in case something happens to him. I've got a friend, and he's a smoker, and his wife, she's not. They've got 4 children, and I'm not sure, but I don't think they have a will. I don't know for certain, but through the grapevine, I don't think he has a will. So she's worried. She loves him to death. They're great people, but he just doesn't have a will. And I think it's something, it talks about, I think for a guy, it's like my mortality. I'm putting down my mortality in writing and all this kind of stuff. And so it might be something, I don't know. I can't speak for him. But, if you're starting to take risky behavior, my suggestion, if this was a friend of mine, I would tell her, yeah, so if your spouse wants to take up risky behaviors, and if this was a guy and you're dating a girl and she wants to I want to start skydiving. Okay, cool. You want to start taking up risky behaviors and do these things where, I might lose you, I would say you need to set up a will for me. And if you can't set up a will to where, if I'm dependent upon you for certain financial needs, keeping the house, keeping the children fed and safe, all of these things that we have built together. If you want to start dealing in risky behaviors, I need some assurance that if something happens to you, I'll be okay. And one of those things is going to be a will. We got to put something together, or even life insurance. I guess that's a better way of saying it. Not a will, but more of like life insurance. So we know that if anything happens to him, anything happens to her, the rest of the family is going to be okay. Not necessarily, I misspoke, not a will, but life insurance.
Yeah, guys, the moral of the story of today's episode seems to be draft up a will, especially if you have a family that is dependent upon you, like purchase a life insurance policy, I don't have a life insurance policy, nor a will. But I like definitely if I were to have like dependents, I would definitely get both of those two things. And I think it's negligent to do otherwise.
Yeah, I think if you do, I mean, risky behavior.
At
if something's gonna happen to
KMC
you,
said,
yeah,
you
want to
can
have.
sit in 2 saddles with one ass if you are my ex-wife.
Okay. But yeah, I would say have a will if you're doing risky, or if you want, your legacy to be distributed in the way you want. Have life insurance so the people you love can be taken care of if something bad happens to you, God forbid. It's just taking some accountability and responsibility for yourself and for those that you have in your world.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're about at the end. So thank you, Glenn, for coming on once again. And do you want to let everybody know where they can find you if they want to consume any more of your content?
Yeah. So again, my name is Glenn Gilbert. I am the host of the Glenn Gilbert Connection podcast. You can find me on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok. I'm out there. What I do is I talk to relationship experts so others don't have to. The podcast is targeted towards guys going through divorce, those older guys going through divorce, but hopefully I'm providing some information and
Thanks,
tools
Glenn.
for everyone. You're welcome. My pleasure. But yeah, Glenn Gilbert Connection. Check it out. And subscribe, give me your comments as well. But this was been a lot of fun, Chris. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And I want to thank my audience. You guys have been very engaging and very very helpful. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys want to find Glenn, he told you where to find him, the Glenn Gilbert Connection. I'm going to be going back on his podcast sometime soon. So look forward to that. If you want to see me there, you can find that on the YouTube channel or his Instagram. And he's always posting like shorts of his content, which I think is awesome. So, yeah. So,
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. And I'm going to go into my outro now, but thank you for making this a great episode.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. Peace. So, guys, thank you once again. I want to humbly thank our listeners and pay them ample gratitude for their patronage. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to have such a high quality interactive show. So thank you, audience.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes.
I want to remind you all that we are spreading like a virus. The Good Faith Podcast is now officially on YouTube, as well as Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, RSS.com, Overcast, Downcast, Podbeam, Edge, Podcast Republic, Castbox, as well as Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, and Patreon. On Patreon, we're working to build additional value for the multiple tiers of donors with special content, super chat priority, VIP in-person meetings. So we value your attention. And thank you for quieting your TikTok brain for the last 2 hours. This is a reminder, if you feel you got any value from our show, it takes basically zero extra work to like it, subscribe to it. It'll move us closer to having thousands of subscribers, which will bump us up in the algorithm, and it'll expose us to more potential listeners. If you guys want to share us with more of your friends and family, we would be absolutely delighted to extend our outreach. The quickest way for us to broaden our exposure is for you listeners to each share us with one friend. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. If you live in the greater Philadelphia area, you want to guest star on our show, please reach out to me in a DM on Instagram at Christopher Bulick. The Patreon link's in the description. All proceeds will go towards rent, electricity, food for our guests, new computer equipment. I think pretty soon I'm going to completely revamp my studio. I'm gonna get rid of this table, and I'm just gonna get little armchairs and little coffee tables. That'll be more inviting and relaxed of a space, and it'll hopefully improve the production value. But yeah, so guys, if you're interested in donating to the show, I would really appreciate it.
I ain't trying to screw you. You ain't giving me no money.
To all of our faithful audience,
So the audience are a bunch of hoes.
We wish you a wonderful weekend, a happy and healthy lifestyle, and to all of you, we bid you goodbye.